this is Dana and welcome to the Orchid Hut. This is video number 7 in the Neophyte series, which is meant for beginners. However, even if you're an experienced grower, you may pick up a tidbit or two along the way. This is kind of a midpoint update for 3 of the Phalaenopsis orchids in our Follow Me series. So back in January, I took 6 of the Phalaenopsis orchids from my collection, and we took a look at them to see how they were behaving, how they were growing, how they may or may not have been setting bloom spikes at the time. And then again, at the end of April, we did an update and we looked at how they had changed. And the 6 Follow Me Phalaenopsis orchids is just meant to be a learning experience so that we can see how the orchids change over the course of a year. And so in that April video, one of the things I mentioned was that orchids numbers 4, 5, and 6 all needed a little bit more immediate attention. Okay, so we're going to take each one of these in sequence and we're going to talk about what I did today. Now, the maintenance that I actually did was not all that interesting to watch, so I didn't exactly record the steps. We're just simply going to talk about what I did to each of these orchids so that next time you see them at the end of July, you will know that they have been addressed. Okay, so let's start with number 4. Now, number 4 had a branched spike on it the last time you saw it. And what I did today is I went ahead and I cut the spike from right here and I put a little bit of cinnamon on it. And you know, the spike was really beginning to fade. Even some of the buds that looked like they were going to open had shriveled and they started to die. It really wasn't even worth putting the spike in a vase to save it. So I went ahead and I cut the spike because this plant now recognizes that it has bloomed, and now that the spike is gone, it will jumpstart it into root and vegetative growth. This was the orchid that did not have the greatest root system down in the pot. I want it to focus on that. I want it to focus on leaf growth, and that spike was just draining the plant. Required a lot of energy, a lot of moisture. You can tell this leaf beginning to get dehydrated, and this one may yellow and drop. And this one also showing some signs of dehydration with the wrinkling. The top 2 leaves still look pretty good, but it was time for that spike to grow so that this plant could be a healthier version of itself for next year and be able to maintain the spike that it sends out, which was a really, really gorgeous spike, by the way. So I look forward to next year having the full spike be able to bloom. Okay, so this is number 4. There was no need to repot this one because I had just repotted it late last year. Okay, number 5, I did repot this little orchid. Now, this was the one that was originally in this clay pot, and it was falling out of the pot. And right before I repotted it today, it fell out of the pot again. So the root system did not have a good hold in the media or inside the pot. I've put it in a plastic pot now so that I can actually see the root system developing, and hopefully the roots will kind of take a better grip inside this pot so that the plant overall feels more stable. There is a leaf starting to yellow here, but otherwise the plant is healthy. The root system was in good shape. It's got a new leaf that it has recently grown. And some of the air roots on this one I was able to wrap around the top of the media, and hopefully that air root will send out some branched roots so that this one can also develop a better root system and feel more stable inside this pot. So this is now orchid number 5. And the final one, number 6, was also repotted today. This was the orchid that was previously in this little decorative clay pot. The root system on this one was a little bit better. It was a tiny bit attached to the inside of the other pot, but not too bad. I was able to wrap around some of the air roots in the top of the pot. And this is the one that had never really bloomed for me, but it had been in that other pot for a number of years, and I'm sure it's going to appreciate some fresh media. All right, so this is now Phalaenopsis Follow Me number 6. And next time you see these at the end of July, you'll know that 2 of them have been repotted. This one has, number 4, has already had its spike removed. And when we check back in on them again, we will be looking for some new root growth and possibly some new leaf growth. All right, so thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and the subscribe button will be coming up in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Talk to you next time.